Hi everyone and welcome to my video. If you are new here, welcome, and if you're a returning supporter, thank you. I am NaturalsBest and I do natural hair videos along with lifestyle and more. So this is a more video. Today I'm going to show you how I do my thumbnails using Keynote. So if you have a MacBook, Keynote is definitely the way to go for doing your thumbnails. I absolutely love doing my thumbnails on Keynote, and it's the way I've been doing my thumbnails lately. So I figured I would show you how I do that. So if you are interested in watching that, continue watching the video. But first, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you're notified each time that I post a video. Alright guys, let's get right on into this video. I'm going to start off by opening Keynote and just selecting a new presentation. I like to be able to see the full screen when I'm working on my thumbnail, so I'm just going to put this presentation at 50%. And then I'm going to start to delete everything that's already on the presentation because I want to start fresh and new. I'm going to show you how I create the thumbnail for this video. So I'm going to start off by just playing around with some text. I'm going to title the thumbnail and start to play around with the font and the size of the text that I want to use. So my go-to font is the Arial Black, which is what I've selected here. And I normally like to outline my text, so I'm going to show you how I do that here in a minute. But first, I am just going to title my thumbnail. And the title of this thumbnail is just going to be how to make a thumbnail using Keynote. So I'm going to select my text color, and then in the settings option here, I'm going to click on outline, and I'm going to choose the thickness of the outline. Normally I go for 10, so I'm selecting that here, and then I'm going to choose the color of the outline I'm going to use. Here I'm just going to keep it black. Now that I have set up the text I want, the color, and the style, I am just going to copy and paste for the rest of the wording I'm going to use for the thumbnail. This is just an easier way to make sure that everything is in line and consistent. Just go ahead and copy and paste and finish off the rest of the title. So this is just my starting point. I'm just kind of brainstorming and throwing things on the presentation, but this is probably not what I'm going to go with. I usually change my mind quite a bit when I'm putting my thumbnail together, but I like to at least have a base and then work off of that base and add things or delete things as I need to. So now that I have my title, I'm going to go into Google and search Keynote PNG because I really want to put a symbol of the Keynote in my thumbnail just to give it that extra pop and a little bit of color. So the way I do that is I search Keynote PNG, I save this picture to my files, and then all I do is drag this picture over to Keynote from my desktop. So the reason I look for a PNG is because with PNGs you can normally just copy this over and it won't have a background to it. So as you can see, the Keynote is there. It does not have a background, it's just the image. And this just makes it much easier when I am putting my thumbnail together. Now I'm going to go back to Google and see if I can find a PNG of a monitor, because now that I'm thinking, I would like to put my words inside a monitor just to make it more creative. So I have found my monitor, so now I'm just going to save this to my desktop as well. Just a little tip: when finding a monitor, make sure it is a white background. This one does have a bit of a checker print in the back, so I am going to have to play around with the background to remove that. So just so you know, it's easier just to find something with a white background. As you can see, I have dragged my TV over to my thumbnail. So now I'm just going to show you how I'm going to get rid of the checkerboard background. I'm going to click on Image and Instant Alpha. And what this does is it brings up kind of a magnifying glass so that you can highlight the background. And you just select all the areas in the background that you want to delete. Once you are done making all of your modifications, you just click the Done button. So this is what it looks like once you are done deleting the background. So now I have decided that I want my wording or my title inside my monitor. So the way I do that is, as you can see, when I drag my words, it's going behind the monitor. So I'm going to go up to where it says Arrange, and I'm going to bring my words forward so that they all come up front in front of the monitor. Once I do that, I position the wording into the monitor the way that I want them to look. And that just means I may need to adjust the size a little and play around with it just to get it to fit inside the monitor. Now that I have the wording the way I want it to look inside the monitor, I'm going to highlight everything, and then I'm going to group all of this together. That way, anytime I move the monitor, it's going to move the wording with it. Okay, so now I'm just playing around with it, and I've decided I would like to put a picture in my thumbnail. So what I'm doing now is I'm looking for a picture to put it into my thumbnail. Alright, so I thought I found the picture that I wanted, so I went ahead and dragged it over, but later on you will see that I changed my mind. So once I've dragged the picture over, what I did was minimize the picture, make it smaller, and then I used my Instant Alpha to get rid of the background. Once I did that, I just started to kind of move it around just to see where I liked it, but then I decided I didn't like the picture, and I did this all over again with a new picture. As you can see, I'm still playing around with it, but I wanted to show you how I tilt this symbol of the keynote. So I just went up to where it says Arrange, and there is a dial where it says Rotate, and I just kind of move that dial around just to tilt that image. Okay, so after all of that work, I've decided that I did not want this image. So guys, I wanted to show you real life on how I do a thumbnail. I change my mind constantly, and I'm constantly changing things. So this is real life. This is me doing a thumbnail. So I am going to change my image and do that whole Instant Alpha all over again to get rid of the background. And then I'll show you what else I do to the thumbnail, but keep watching. Okay, now that I have my picture squared away, I am going to do some fun stuff to the picture. So I'm going to click on style, and what I'd like to do is put an outline around myself. So I'm going to click on border, I'm going to click on line, and then I'm going to select the thickness of the line that I want. So here I am going to go up to about 19 points, and then I'm going to choose the color. I am going to change the black to white because I am going to select the background for this thumbnail, and I would like for the outline to be in white. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to Google to choose a background. So what I'm going to do is search backgrounds in Google and just select the one that I think would look good in the thumbnail. So I'm going to go with this one. I'm going to save this again to my desktop, and then once it's saved over to my desktop, I will drag it over to my presentation. Okay, so I have dragged over the background. Now I'm just going to size it so that it fits the full thumbnail, and then I am going to arrange it because, as you can see, it's in front of everything. It's in front of my picture, my words, my title. So I am going to go back to where it says arrange and take this background to the background by clicking on backward. Okay, so now that I have everything in place, I think I really like the way it's looking. So I am going to do some final touches and change things that I want changed. I do end up changing the text quite a bit because for some reason I just don't like the way it looks. So I am going to change the text. I'm going to clean this up a little bit. I'm going to fix the background on the monitor because I realized that I erase some of the part of the stand. So once I do that, I am done with the thumbnail, guys. Now that everything is fixed, I'm going to go ahead and name my thumbnail, and then I am going to go to File and export this thumbnail into my desktop so that I can upload this into YouTube once I am done exporting the video. Okay guys, so this is what the thumbnail looks like once it is done, and it is now ready to upload into YouTube. So I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions about how to do a thumbnail on Keynote, please make sure that you leave them down below. And then let me know how you do your thumbnails. What do you use to do your thumbnails? Do you use your phone? Do you use your computer? Do you use Keynote? Do you use an application? Let me know down below what you use to do a thumbnail and why you use it. Is it easy to use? I think Keynote is very easy to use, which is why I use it. I also use applications on my phone at times, but for the most part, this is my go-to. Guys, so if you like this video, make sure you thumbs it up. I thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.